Hi Sarah, Jo here on the delivery and structure of the Welsh accent for Henry IV Part 1. I'm primarily referencing some of Glendower's speeches from the scene immediately after interval in our production that we're going to be doing tomorrow night. Hope you enjoy and it's all clear. I'm happy to answer any questions when you get to the theatre tomorrow. Bit about structure of the Welsh and a breakdown of the Welsh accent before I get into any speech making. There's a couple of pointers to help get you into the accent. First things first, Welsh speakers as a whole tend to inflect upwards at the end of a sentence, very similar to Australians. So when I first moved here from England, everyone sounded like they were asking me a question, which for an English speaker is very confusing because I'd go, hey mate, how you going? You know, it's always upwards, an inflection upwards, as if everyone's asking a question at the end of a sentence. The Welsh do the same thing. So, cousin of many men, I do not bear these cross sayings. Give me leave to tell you once again that at my birth, the front of heaven was full of fiery sheeps. So they're always inflecting upwards and downwards on the beat or pulse of the sentence, but they're always going up at the end of the sentence. That's what Welsh speakers tend to do. They sound like they're asking a question even when they're not. That's the other thing is during breakdown of sentence structure, Welsh speakers will often sound it's almost like a very sing-song without being a caricature. Welsh speakers speaking English tend to have a sing-song or a lyrical quality or a musical quality to their accent because there's almost like an ebb and flow or a dee-dum, dee-dum, dee-dum sort of rhythm to the speech of a Welsh speaker, actually, which is perfect for getting into the poetry of Shakespeare's iambic pentameter. It's very similar rhythm. Dee-dum, 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 dee-dum. So if I go for the speeches from post-interval, and the biggest chunk here I can see for Glendower, cousin of my many men, I do not bear these crossings. I'm exaggerating here. Give me leave to tell you once again that at my birth, the front of heaven was full of fiery sheeps. Can you hear the almost like yo-yo effect of a flow or an ebb and flow of that musicality of that phrasing? Once you get into that kind of rhythm along with the iambic pentameter, that might help you get into not only the Welsh accent but back into the iambic pentameter. The other thing, so not only do Welsh speakers so far inflect upwards at the end of a sentence, and they tend to have a more sing-song rhythm to or a musical quality to their voices. They are like the Scots. They're very good at rolling their R's. That's one good thing. I'll try to provide some examples as I slow the speeches down for you. The other thing Welsh speakers tend to do is they break down sounds and syllables of, could be words like single syllable words like fire instead of fire, or maybe words like two or more syllable words. You often get Welsh speakers tend to elongate the syllables, and then you'll get this wonderful emphasis on, or thrown emphasis on, different syllables. So when you're using names in the text for Shakespeare, like I think, well, even the name Glendower, I am Owen Glendower. So again, the sense of that emphasis on different words. I'm just trying to have a look to see if I could give an example. No, here it is. Sit, cousin Percy. Sit, good cousin Hotspur. For by that name as oft as Lancaster doth speak of you, his cheek looks pale, and with a rising sigh he wisheth you in heaven. So words like, pinging words like Lancaster or rising. So not just the rolled R, but the rising. So the musical quality of the note of the rising, but also the word rising is very much broken down into its syllable fragments. And that's what Welsh speakers tend to do. They tend to draw out and expand on syllables, and they love doing it. It's part of the musicality of their language. So, inflecting upwards at the end of a sentence, the musical sort of ebb and flow of the rhythm of the language, the role of the R's, very important. Breaking down syllables with words like fire, fiery, all those kind of things, and just playing around. Mountain, almost an over-emphasis on certain syllables. Welsh speakers tend to love the almost the appetite, and they enjoy their language as they speak it. Another idiosyncrasy of the Welsh accent, and it seems to be in certain dialects within Wales, but words like that are a consonant followed by a vowel. Words like here, H-E-R-E, and year, Y-E-A-R, tend to be pronounced a specific way. For example, year instead of here, or year instead of year. You can see how I'm pursing my lips together. Year. I'm at the front, and I'm almost spitting the word, but the sound and the vowel gets almost contracted. Whereas most Welsh speakers will elongate, particularly vowels, and open vowels up. There are certain words like here and year that will be contracted. I don't know why that is. It's some sort of idiosyncrasy within the dialect from Gaelic to English. So when Glendower says stuff like no, when they're looking for the map or where the map's gone, Hotspur says, Lord Mortimer and Cousin Glendower, will you sit down? And Uncle Worcester, a plague upon it, I forgot the map. And then Glendower responds, no, here it is. You would say, no, here it is. Sit, Cousin Percy, sit, good Cousin Hotspur, for by that name as blah, 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 right? So here, that's a good way for an audience member to hear the Welsh accent or the Welsh overtones of you speaking the Welsh. I hope that's helpful to you. It's confusing as all hell. There are some, like English, the Welsh have their own sort of rules and exceptions to how they speak and all that. But have some fun with it. I'm going to break some speeches down now. I'm going to slow it right down for you so that you can hear me say them in as best broken South Welsh as I can. My father's from Tonrevel in the Rhondda Valley in South Wales, so he has a very South Welsh accent, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to take probably the fragments of speeches from the first page after interval. So Glendower responding to Hotspur, I forgot the map. No, here it is. Sit, good Cousin Percy, sit, good Cousin Hotspur. For by that name as oft as Lancaster doth speak of you, his cheek looks pale, and with a rising sigh he wisheth you in heaven, and you in hell, as oft as he hears Owen Glendower spoke of. Glendower, I cannot blame him. At my nativity, the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes, of burning cressets, and at my birth the frame and huge foundation of the earth shake like a coward. Hotspur, why, so it would have done at the same season if your mother's cat had but kitted, throw yourself, blah, blah, blah. Glendower, I see the earth did shake when I was born. Hotspur, I say the earth was not of my mind, if you suppose as fearing you it shook. Glendower, the heavens were all on fire. The earth did tremble. Oh, then the earth shook to see the heavens on fire, and not in fear of your nativity. Cousin, of many men I do not bear these crossings. Give me leave to tell you to tell you once again that at my birth the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes. The goats ran from the mountains, and the herds were strangely clamorous to the frighted fields. These signs have marked me extraordinary, and all the courses of my life do show I am not in the role of common men. And bring him out that is but woman's son can trace me in the tedious ways of art. Excuse me for a moment. And hold me pace in deep experiments. Hotspur, I think there's no man better Welsh. I'll to dinner. Peace, cousin Percy, says Mortimer, you will make him mad. Glendower, I can call spirits from the vasty deep. So again, vasty deep. Really almost slow that down and enjoy the musicality and the luxuriousness and the appetite of that language in your mouth. It's just quite wonderful. I can call spirits from the vasty deep. That's a threat, by the way. Why, so can I, so can any man, but will they come when you do call for them? Why, I can teach your cousin to command the devil. And it's again that breakdown of consonants and syllables. So devil. It's not overemphasized. It's not caricatured. That's how Welsh speakers actually do, especially when they're placing emotional emphasis on a word or a feeling that is expressed by the word. Hotspur, I can teach thee, cuz, to shame the devil by telling truth, tell truth and shame the devil, etc., etc. Glendower, I'm just skipping through. 3 times hath Henry Bolingbroke made head against my power, thrice from the banks of Wye, and sandy bottom 7 have I sent him bootless home and weather beaten back. So it's almost like you're attacking each consonant, particularly when he's playing a pretty fiery and angry Welshman like Glendower obviously is. Further down the page, come, here is the map. Shall we divide our right according to our threefold order taken? So again breaking taken, not taken. Taken. So right, the Welsh have a wonderful way of just throwing sound around the back of the throat, up to the teeth and back again. It's almost like they're spitting out things. My cousin Granville was a perfect example of that. My great uncle Granville, sorry, because everything sounded like an explosive attack every time he opened his mouth, especially when he was talking to us kids. Anyway, I hope that's helpful to you, Sarah, and let me know if you need more from me. I can slow it down again. So if I go back to, I'm just going to slow it really down now. This is the cousin, the page after interval, cousin of many men, I do bear these crossings. I'm going to slow it down even further. Cousin of many men, I do bear these crossings. Give me leave to tell you once again that at my birth the front of heaven was full of fiery sheeps. The goats ran from the mountains, and the herds were strangely clamorous to the frighted fields. These signs have marked me extraordinary, and all the courses of my life do show I am not in the role of common men. And bring him out that is but woman's son can trace me in the tedious ways of art. Hope that helps. Take care. Good luck. Bye.